goodies and oldies.
Read it, run from it, destined to arrive all the same.
And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button. Share this content, let that friend or that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Come on, baby. That's including the ice wall. Come on, stand tall or not at all. Mama said there'll be days literally just like this. Come on with it.
What more do you want from me?
They say really ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove? From my studios to yours, brought to you by Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers. Come on with it. Come on. All right. And they say no days off. Yeah. Come on with it. Fill this room all the way up. Hit that like button. Share this content. 5, 4, 3, 2. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on, baby. Yeah, what's good with you, man? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and being part of these episodes, Cowboy Nation. As this room fill up, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The Dallas Cowboys former offensive coordinator is a new head coach. Are there, before we get things started, are there any buyer's remorse, right? And have you ever bought something, went down the street, turned the corner, got to the crib, pop it open and said, you know what, man? I don't need this, man. Oh, man, they done T-moved me, man. I don't really need this, man. They done TikTok shop me, man. Oh, man, I don't really need this. Come on, man. Yeah. All right, so that was the breaking news. We can go now, right? Nah. But in all actuality, everybody becomes, or most other people become successful when they leave the area of the Joneses. So what's going on, man? How's this happening? What's going on with all of this? Ladies and gentlemen, what's good with you, Vic? Appreciate you for jumping in, and appreciate everybody. Kellen should take a victory lap times, in Dallas. No, genuinely, it's always going to be the verses, right? It was Sean Payton versus Jason Garrett, right? It's now going to be, the only reason why we're saying Sean Payton versus the Jason Garrett, because the reason why we held on to Jason Garrett is because of the fact that they thought that they had something out of a Sean Payton type out of Jason Garrett, right? And remember, Jason Garrett was on his way out to the Baltimore Ravens at the time. But the Cowboys said, you know what? we ain't gonna leave another son, so we're gonna next we're going to hire him, you know what I'm saying, to be our head coach. Fire Wade and all of this stuff. So, if you wanted Kellen Moore to be here, and if you are the prisoners of the moment of what we witnessed in the Super Bowl, a blowout, by the way. Oh, my God, man, the Eagles blew out the damn Chiefs. If you want Kellen Moore here, put KM in the chat if you wanted him here, right? Or is that just water under the bridge, baby? You know, because at the end of the day, it's the Cowboys' way regardless. Yeah. Put KM if you wanted Kellen Moore here. Put NKM if you don't want Kellen Moore here. Now, the Eagles, they are, you know, shout out to my guy, LB, Lord Brunson, you know, He's trying to paint all of the Cowboys content creators into a corner, right? He's trying to paint every content creator in a corner now because he said, hey, if you haven't witnessed the Super Bowl this decade and your team haven't won in the last 15 years or been to the Super Bowl, y'all don't need to talk, right? But at the end of the day, we know who our problem is. We know who our issue is here. It's not like the Dallas Cowboys been making moves, the hell though, but he do have a strong opinion on that, and we're going to give him time to still gloat for at least a week. They do have bragging rights for the eternity of time until the Cowboys can get to that dance again. But I'm going to tell y'all again, just because one man trash is not equivalent to always another man's treasure, and just because you got a general manager that's willing to roll up his sleeves to make deals, and his whole argument was that they didn't have homegrown guys to be able to be an impact in that Super Bowl. The Tennessee pretty much castrated and kicked out AJ from the Tennessee, and they accepted him as their own, right? And then he lamented that Jahan Dotson was castrated and kicked out from the Washington team, and they accepted him, and he was successful. And he said, last but not least, Kellen Moore, who all of the Cowboy fans and people beyond complain about, saying that he was the problem, but in actuality, it was Dak Prescott and a whole bunch of other stuff is the problem. And they embraced him and they accepted him with open arms. But I come here to tell y'all, don't be fooled with that. Because I'm quite sure that Freddie, Regina, Matt Leslie, Ice Cold Cowboy, and anybody that's watching, if you on a super team, you just going to be on a super team. It wasn't the fact that Kellen Moore came there and he erased all of the worries, all of the doubts, and all of the miseries of the Eagles. Now, granted, if anything, somebody need to be praising is that defense. That defense was crazy, right? And Zach Bond, you know, whoever made that deal, great deal by Howie to get him from the Saints and to be able to do those things. Appreciate y'all. What's good with you? So, speaking of that, let me see if I can pull this up very swiftly. Now, my guy, he got a stance. His name is Steph the GM, Blitz Dallas. I know you guys may have heard of his storyline before, and I want to bring this up before we get deep into the context of the conversation here. All right, so my guy, and I'm really sharing this so that people can get aboard on this man's mission. His mission, and a lot of people's mission, is to fire Jerry Jones. Now, Jerry Jones, I believe that, you know, in order to get Jerry up out of there, it's going to be a natural causes. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people die of a cold. Some people die of getting hit by a car or a bus or something. But Jerry Jones, he got 99 lives. He got reptilian blood. And I think that he's just gonna live through anything. You know, you can drop a bomb and he'll still be there. Not saying that we want Jerry Jones to expire here, but I'm just saying he might outlive us all. That's all I'm gonna say. But he states here, y'all complain about our front office, but I don't see any of y'all with this type of SHI, and you put the T on it if you want to. And he says, y'all really not about that life. You know what I'm saying? So that's him right here. And we've seen the reactions of the Mavs when they let go Luka legend. Now he's a Laker legend. You know, he's finna go down that pathway. And we see how everybody kind of responded to that particular energy. But my brother, he is all by himself out here saying, fire Jerry the GM. Now, granted, we as Cowboy fans, we are all over the globe, all over the world, and the legacy and the history of the Cowboys fandom is far superior. No offense to the Mavs nation, if there is such a thing. But we are far superior than the Mavs nation, because at the end of the day, if you look at the historical data and the history of the Cowboys, it's long, you know. So you got people all over the world. And whereas Dallas, you know, you probably have one sector of the people that really roots for the Mavs like that. You know, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not beating up the Mavs. Shout out to them and all of their success. But it is what it is. So I don't think that you can orchestrate this type of movement against the Joneses, because you got more casual fans than there are diehard fans. And that's unfortunately, fortunately, you know. But when I posted this, and if you click on this thread line for your mind, there's a lot of people that like Ken Dorsey. A lot of people, you know, shout out to your Ice Cold. He said, go Spurs. Yeah, a lot of people really, really endorse the passion of Ken Dorsey. He will be your quote unquote analyst. So he going to be analyzing some stuff. So hopefully, man, if things don't work out right, we will see some type of passion up there in the press box, you know, because I don't want to see just Jerry sitting up there with that scrawl face and looking around like he don't know what's going on. At least we can see some passion, supposedly, you know. Appreciate you, Gina, with the G's. Y'all smash that like button. All right, so this is some of the meat and potatoes of free agency. I talked about this earlier on my video from this morning. That clip was funny, right? And it states here, and shout out to my guy Brandon Laurie, I don't think that he's a water carrier of the Joneses. I don't think he is of the David Moores of the worlds, or, you know, who else can be a water carrier? Shout out to my guy Mike Fisher. You know, he sometimes falls in that category. I don't see Brandon Laurie of the ilk of being a water carrier. But he did some carrying, you know, blow a whistle. He says the Eagles general manager, Howie Roseman, will be remembered for signing Saquon Barkley when no one else wanted him last offseason. Now, that's neither here nor there. Roseman also has swung and missed Bryce Huff, who guaranteed $34 million, you know, and he had a very below average season. All I can say is give that man time too, because he's still young. But what I'm getting at is that's okay. That's okay to swing and miss. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Let me say this for somebody way in the back. That they're probably like Ashaniqua. They're probably like the Ray Ray, or probably like Pookie. And if you don't approach them, male or female, however y'all want to go with that thing, right? If you never approach them, you would never know whether or not you can get rejected or accepted. You know, that's just how it is. So what I state here, and I stand on business with this, yeah, but the Eagles hit on Saquon. They hit on Zach Bond. They hit on Gardner Jr., Gardner, Chauncey, you know, however you say that man's name, you know. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, we are still in our feelings about the Brandon Carr thing that happened 13 years ago, right? 13 years ago. We still stuck on the Brandon Carr. In order for us to get the results that others are achieving, we must, M-U-S-T, figure out how to salsa a little bit. Dance, you know, two-step, you know, come on with it, the electric slide or something. Give us something, Jerry. Give us something, Stephen Jones, because we can't continue to go down this same pathway and expecting different results. Now, this coaching staff, when we look at it from head to shoulders or head to foot, we are a little different than what we previously were. I do see that, and I will give them their flowers on that. But I'm still right there at a 5 with Shotty, because he gonna have to show us something. Does Underdog take bets on how many years will it last? How many years more will last for the Saints? I can put in a request for Underdog and say more or less, and set it for a long-term thing. I'm going to reach out to the CEO and the people, COO of Underdogs, and we may can take a look at wagers on coaches. Yeah. But shout out to you, Verdi. I'm definitely going to reach out to the Underdog team and see what they going to get going from there. But if you are on the Underdog app, just be sure to use promo code LAW. Come on with it. LAW is the area of choice. All right, so when we look at the Cowboys coaching staff, we look at Shotty. He got 24 years of experiences. They made sure they put that up there. They made sure, hey, man, he ain't a new coach, but it is what it is. But offensively speaking, Clayton Adams, let me give y'all my thoughts on everything so that you guys will not feel as if though I'm beating this up in the wrong way, But Clayton Adams, he's a phenomenal play designer as it relates to running. He is a guy that he will give you GT counters. He will put into those inside zone runs. He will do outside zone schemes. He is a guy, and I'm not trying to tell you guys that we finna walk on water since we got him on our staff. But what I'm saying is Clayton Adams may be either out of him and White Cotton. Them two pickups there may be the deciding factors on what we will look like in the run game for the foreseeable future. And Steve Simcoe, the quarterback coach. Now, we will see his philosophy and his principle, because when he was with Boston College, they was averaging 130 to 140 yards per game. And he came there and he flipped that organization around, and they started to get 300 to 350 yards per game. So we'll be looking at Steve Simcoe, and I did a video on him last year, and the video was like, hey, everybody was like buying into what we were saying or what he brings to the table. The only flaws of it all was this right here. We didn't get a chance to see none of that creativity. We didn't see nothing unique. We didn't see nothing. So let's see what he going to do this year, right? Let's see. And granted, when you got a contract year, your back is against the wall, maybe Mike McCarthy farted, and said, man, y'all get out of here. Y'all get out of here. And then let this man in the meeting room. I don't know. Shout out to you, Toxic Tom. Appreciate you. Running back coach, Derek Foster. I mean, he's a long way from Jeff Blasco's, right? And I ain't finna beat up Jeff Blasco, but I'm going to tell you, Jeff Blasco is the name. Just look him up, and you probably won't see anything noted on his particular resume. But you got Derek Foster. Hopefully he can get things going. Shout out to him. And then you got the wide receiver, Junior Adams. Did they make him cut his hair? That boy got a smooth top now, But, that's the wide receiver coach. And then we have Lunda Wells and as well as Connor Riley. That completes your offensive grouping. And out of that list, of course, shout out to Lunda Wells, but I'm thinking that Clayton Adams will be the main force to see things and how it will look here. All right, and now I'm looking at the defensive side of things. You got Matt Eberflus. You got Aaron Rodgers, White Cotton. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, is a free man. If y'all who want to entertain Aaron Rodgers, y'all let me know. Let me know. Do y'all want Aaron Rodgers here? What my guy who every year Dallas, I forgot his name, Lil Dallas or something. Where you at? You said Aaron Rodgers we would have won 3 Super Bowls if we went and got Aaron Rodgers. So let's go and get Aaron Rodgers over here as the backup quarterback. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate for everybody for coming from an AOC show. Appreciate y'all for being part of the community and spreading some things around. We got some things that we got working on brewing up in all of these things. So shout out to him and appreciate him. All right, so this is your staff, man. This is your staff for the 2025 season. I want to know, before the season kickoff, is this staff better than 2024 staff? Because we saw a 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 coach, and the only time that he had a bad record was when his quarterback went down and couldn't finish the season, couldn't find a job. Is this staff better than what? Okay, all you got to do is say yes. Come on, yeah. By a mile, And that's one part of it. I think that this is just my notion. I think that it's the little things you do. I think it's the little things you do that creates some type of avenue of discipline. There's only so much that Scott McCurley can say to a linebacker room, right? When he don't have the evidence or he don't have the proper resume, There's only so much that Jeff Blasco can teach to a running back room when he don't have the information for the nation. And he's learning it on the job, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man, let me go run back to Chat GPT to see how I can talk to the Ezekiel Elliott and see how I can talk to Deuce Vaughn, yeah. And what's the other cook? Dalvin Cook. Boy, Dalvin Cook, what Dalvin Cook at, man? Somebody went and got him and what happened to Dalvin Cook? Boy, we don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared off the face of this earth, right? There's only so much you can pull from something that you never been in before, right? Is everybody seen someone before who cheated on a test, but now it's time to show your work and they call you up to the board and he like, nah, I don't know what to do with this, man. I don't know how to get up out of here, dog. Yeah, so there's only so much that you can do with this. And when you start to say those type of things, it's very, 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 very weird. Right? But that's the coaching staff for the Dallas Cowboys. Love Kelly, run the scoreboard up. Yeah, Noble, he will run the scoreboard up. And he had a lot of things. Not AI coaching, you got it. Yeah, that's exactly what Blasco was trying to do. Yeah, so here's what we got to do also. And I ain't finna joke about the Eagles, man, because I can't even joke on them no more. That what really hurts me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that what really. I can't even joke on the Eagles not knowing how to spell. Or walk and chew bubblegum. I can't joke on them Eagles no more. Yeah, they won. They shot the BB gun. There's nothing we can do. We can sit back and talk about this and that. We can, but at the end of the day, this last little message that I got for most of you guys is this right here from one of my sponsors, Underdog Fantasy. Promo code LAW. And we'll see what we do. You know what I'm saying? We go to results here. We go to pick 'em. And we won because we did the flex option. We won $93 off of the Super Bowl. What didn't hit, we would have won about $300 if the Saquon Barkley pick didn't hit. I had him going higher than 114 yards. He had only 57 yards. I had Jalen Hurts throwing an INT, and yes, he threw an INT. I was like, yeah! It was short-lived, though. And then Pat Mahomes, he had literally less than 32 attempts, and I had him down. We had him down for 36, so we had him down for less. So we won in every main category. Yeah. But I want to say this. That game, for all of those who watching and appreciate Underdog Fantasy, and shout out to those who are $93 richer, that can get you some nice food. It's get you almost halfway there to that tomahawk steak, So appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for your support. But I want to pull up this right here. And when I was doing the research, and who's old enough to remember Vic Fangio when we ran into Vic Fangio when he was with the Denver Broncos, and Anthony Lights. Now you're going to tell me I should have took the under on Saquon? Come on, man. Now you're going to give me advice? Now you're going to talk to me about that? Yeah, man, come on, man. Now you want to give me the advice, man. Come on, man. After it's all said and done.
Shame. Shame.
I can't stand you, Appreciate you, Anthony. I'm just playing with you. But who remember that Denver Broncos game? When they rush 4, drop 7. Who remember that Denver Broncos? They beat the brakes off of us. Yeah.
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?
All right, so Vic Fangio runs a vision-based defense. His defense, they didn't blitz at all on Pat Mahomes. Literally, they rushed 4 and they dropped 7. And when we did the pregame, I think I was talking to someone. I said, man, this is going to be a situation whereas Pat Mahomes, he will carve you up and eat you all up underneath, right? But the problem is that interior threat, ooh, them boys got the EN, and King Pablo says blueprint. Yes, boy, King Pablo, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I cannot believe it. Blueprint game, that's what it was. Don't y'all know that Patrick Mahomes, when you review the tape and you look at everything, that boy, he did look like Dak Prescott that day, didn't he? Yes or no? Yeah, I know AOC mad right now. He throwing furniture, he getting up, moving. AOC moving up off the screen. Yeah. When you have the ability to create pressure.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, Leah. When you have the ability to create pressure and rush 4, and drop 7, and you can't establish the run game, it's going to look just like that. And that is exactly what happened. And then it took some drops by DeAndre Hopkins to figure out ways he looked like Noah Brown out there, didn't he? Yeah. But I want to tell y'all that Vic Fangio, he was the one that really dissected and destroyed the Chiefs.
The Eagles' defensive line had a truly legendary performance in the Super Bowl. I don't know if we've ever seen anything quite like it. So get this, the Eagles' defense did not blitz Patrick Mahomes a single time in this game on 42 different dropbacks. That is insane. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio did literally nothing but rush 4 guys and drop 7 guys into coverage.
How do you beat that? Ooh, baby. So how do you beat that, ladies and gentlemen? Because so many people was trying to doubt Law Nation's knowledge of the game. Dak Delusional, I see you in the chat. Appreciate you keeping the lights on over here with the engagement. Keep it up because you're going to learn something today if you're still here in the chat. What was the excuses for, dare I say, Patrick Money Mahomes? Come on, baby. Because at the end of the day, they rushed 4 and they had 7 in coverage, meaning that if you can't get that ball out and if you can't establish the run and the Eagles really shut down that run the thing, it was nothing they can do. Let's listen to the rest of this. Man, I'm going to rewind for those who just not tuning in. Yeah. Let's rewind just a little bit.
No, if we've ever seen anything quite like it. So get this. The Eagles defense did not blitz Patrick Mahomes a single time in this game on 42 different dropbacks. That is insane. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio did literally nothing but rush 4 guys and drop 7 guys into coverage all night. They did not send a single extra rusher at Mahomes at any point. And yet Mahomes was sacked 6 different times. He has never been sacked that many times in his entire career. Just take that in for a second. Vic Fangio didn't give his guys up front any help whatsoever, and yet they still got home like crazy. And you definitely saw the significant advantage that comes with successfully pressuring the quarterback while only rushing 4. They had the numbers on the back end in coverage, not only to keep a top on Mahomes and not let him hit a deep shot, but really to make Mahomes very uncomfortable testing any window in coverage. Even when he bought the time, he was so scared to let it loose. I'm not hating on Jalen Hurts. I think he played well enough as a quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP. Truly, he delivered. But Josh Sweat was honestly my Super Bowl MVP. He had 8 quarterback pressures, 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for losses. I just felt like the story of this game was how well the Eagles defensive line played, and he was the most productive of those guys. Both him and Milton Williams are headed for free agency. And after a Super Bowl like this, all I have to say is that I hope...
Man, I see you in the chat. I'm awake. But that Milton Williams... Yeah, he probably be one of the guys, you know what I'm saying? He one of the Louisiana boys. Hey, Milton, Josh Sweat, he had a great game or what have you. But I'm looking for that Milton, yeah.
I hope they go and enjoy a very nice vacation. The Eagles defensive...
Yeah. And we definitely not Eagles fans here, by the way. You know what I'm saying? No. But don't y'all get carried away. See, that's the number one problem with the Eagles fans. You give them a little accomplishment. Hey, man, shout out to AJ. Oh, man, what you doing? You like AJ Brown now? No. Yeah, that's all we're saying is congratulations, for your amount of success. We can't hate what we trying to do, and we ain't trying to say we try to duplicate. What we trying to say is, if we bang the table hard enough and we take a lot of rocks and we throw them at Jerry Jones, Sky Mirror long enough, or at the Star in Frisco, that technically it's not like the Eagles been dominating the Cowboys left and right when we are healthy, by the way. But what we're saying is we've been shoulder to shoulders with them just in the postseason. You guys fool around and evacuated that situation from us. But what we're saying is, as a Cowboy fan collectively, please, for the love of G.O.D., Jerry Jones, we're not saying go out there and get 5 or 6 free agencies, but just get a few free agency guys. That's premium. Don't wait till the last day of free agency and you fool around, scrape the bottom of that pot and say, yeah, these are the things that we need to add to this team. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Cowboy Nation. Don't think that James Washington was enough. Don't think that this particular team that we just see that lifted up a Lombardi trophy, they didn't get just one free agent player and folded their arms. They went and got multitudes of free agency guys. They actually did transitions. So that's what we're saying. So just don't run the same show back at us and say to ourselves, we going to go to the Super Bowl with a Jalen Brooks, a Jalen Tolbert, right? Come on, man. Look, let's not do that, ladies and gentlemen. But if we can take enough rocks and throw it at them and remind them of the success of people already in our division, of what they're doing, come on, baby. It would absolutely can happen, and we got to hold their feet to the fire, though. I'm talking about the Joneses. We got to continue to talk about this and express our concerns about this. Yeah, my guy, Dak Delusional Fan, states that the conversation of the debate of Dak Prescott better than Hurts is over. Well, let me do this. Let me run you this. You acting like that was the only thing. If you pull up the Eagles roster and you say, okay, AJ versus CD Lamb, I'll give you CD, right? Some people argue AJ is better. But now you talking about worlds of a difference when you talking about Smitty versus Jalen Tolbert. Smitty versus older Brandon Cooks. Smitty versus a Jalen Brooks. Who's better? All right, then we go into the other bag. Dallas Goedert versus, Dallas Goedert versus Luke Schoonmaker. Who's better? Dallas Goedert. Okay, let's continue to do this. Lane Johnson versus Terrence Steele. Who's better? Lane Johnson or Terrence Steele? We can go down the list. We go down Zach Bond versus let's say here Eric Kendricks this past season. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Laura's cooking, right? You know, Saquon Barkley versus Rico. You know, who's better? Who's better? You know, so these are not apples and apples or apples and oranges. It's not even that, you know. It's like compare, you know, yeah. Excuses, Ross? Excuses, Brandon Ross? How you going to tell me those are excuses? Those are facts. Those are flat out facts. Those are not excuses. You can't sit here and tell me, oh, so you mean to tell me that it's Jalen Brooks' God-given talent, scale measured to measured, shoulder to shoulder, that he is better than Smitty? Come on, man. Oh, come on. We supposed to say that those things are not facts? That when you look at a team like the Eagles going into the Super Bowl and they rushed only 4 and they were able to create pressure, that all of a sudden that these are excuses, man, I'm telling y'all. So all right, so if that's the case, then everybody should be millionaires because there should be no excuses. Everybody born with the same set of circumstances, same set of deals. No, it's just in life, those are facts that you guys don't want to hear. That's what it is, you know. Yeah, so that's the people hate the truth. People hate the truth. So it is what it is. All right, so at the end of the day, somebody said, JP says, make the excuses for Dak Prescott not being successful. Oh, I thought y'all would never understand. But this is the reason why I graduated top of my class. It's the reason why, God had blessed me to make lots of money by my levels of knowledge here. Let's play this again. What are the excuses for Pat Mahomes in this game? Okay, let's listen. Okay, let's watch.
A truly legendary performance in the Super Bowl. I don't know if we've ever seen anything quite like it. So get this, the Eagles defense did not blitz Patrick Mahomes a single time in this game on 42 different dropbacks. That is insane. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio did literally nothing but rush 4 guys and drop 7 guys into coverage all night. They did not send a single extra rusher at Mahomes.
What is Mahomes' excuse for not being able to hit his wide receivers? I need to know. I want to know. Come on. I got the fall lines busting it wide open. Yes, indeed. The fall line, 657-390-7391. What was his excuse of not being able to get that ball down the field? I need to know. I want to know. I just need to figure out what's his excuse. Why they couldn't move the ball? Why nobody was getting open? I want to know why that quarterback, he getting paid $250 million too, right? I need to know what was going on. Why they couldn't move the line? Why they couldn't move the ball? Why nobody was getting open? What was the reason there? Matter of fact, to that point and to that degree, what happened, bro? You know what I'm saying? What happened in that game? I need to know. But before we go into those details, I want to reach out to you guys about this one thing right here. If you find yourself in the bind, in a jam, and I can tell you, there are some people that's going to be in the jam like this. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, if you ever find yourself in a jam like this, never try to represent yourself. You want someone else to represent you. Yeah. So they said right here, shout out to my guy. What would you do if your boy came in the interrogation room and he said this?
The real truth. What you seen, what you know. They got it on video. Real shit, just tell the truth, dog. Not the other bullshit, just tell the truth, dog. They got it on video. Remember when Mookie went live? They know that. They seen us at Slugger House. They seen us leave Slugger House. So basically,
we're trying to be real with you, okay? I told you it took a little.
All right. They tried to get my brother in a jam. And if you guys are ever in that situation, and you got your homeboy coming into the interrogation room saying they got you on camera, they got you leaving the house, they got you leaving the scene, and they still haven't arrested you, and they got you on camera, but why they got to have you to admit something that you saying to yourself, hey, I have the right to remain silent. At the end of the day, my best advice to anybody, whether or not this guy's guilty or innocent, lawyer. That should be his words, because he shouldn't be pressed like that with his homeboy inside the interrogation room. And I'm spitting knowledge to those who are out there, but there will be somebody who will refute the truth and will tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But I'm telling y'all, if you ever in that jam, you got to reach out to your lawyer. And on top of that, a jet owned by a very wealthy guy involved in a fatal plane crash in Arizona. We hope all is well, but we do know that there are a few people that's injured and one passed away. Now, I'm not saying to make this a joke out of anything, because I'm always trying to give you advice. You don't have to take it. You can listen to it, though, because I'm going to say it. But if you ever find yourself in a difficult situation, right, you just need to reach out to these guys.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance company. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214-817, and all of the threes you can dial. With that being said, be sure to reach out to Frenkel and Frenkel personal injury lawyers. They would take great care of you, not advantages of you by telling you false information or things that they don't know of. So reach out to Frenkel and Frenkel personal injury lawyers. They have over a combined of 100 years of experiences. They are located here in the heart of Dallas. So they know the terrain, they know the area, they know the lane, they know how to help you out in difficult situations. But if you can't dial that number and you have Wi-Fi, not T-Move-Fi, if you have Wi-Fi, you can go to frankelfirm.com and reach out to them that way, and they will be able to assist you properly. Now, if you want to reach out to Law Nation to talk about these boys and what we need to do for the future, 657-390-7391 is the hotline. You're Mine. Come on, baby. From the 210 Dr. Q. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. What's good with you, bro?
Hey, brother, I'm going to try to make this quick, man. Enjoyed the show the other day with you and the AOC, man. There was just so much fun listening to you guys, man.
Appreciate it.
Really enjoyed it. Hey, I'm going to hit on these things real super quick. No to Kellen Moore. Eagles have a lot of veterans.
Yeah.
But luck, I always tell you, luck and health is a big part of that. I'm like you, man. You still have to swing. Everything I'm going to say is going to be perfect to free agents. You still have to swing free agents. Yes, it's Jerry Jones' fault. So for you folks in the chat that be saying he puts the players on the field, bull sugar.
Yeah.
You got to have the players, free agents. Just look. The blueprint game. If you look, I know you mentioned the blueprint game for the Super Bowl. You got to have the players to implement the blueprint. Free agents, free agent players got to spend. We don't even with having the right players. We don't have the right players when they're healthy and the type of injuries that they sustain. You got to be able to backfill them. Free agents. It don't matter who's the coach. Okay, it don't matter who the coach is. Free agents. Now, offensive, the line. If you're going into the free agents, a free agency, D-line, wide receiver.
Right.
I would not. I'm with you guys. I would not draft an offensive lineman.
Right.
Free agents, offensive line, defensive line, and wide receiver free agent. All other skill sets will be the draft. Okay, that's where I'm going. So the new coaches by name, it sounds good.
Sound good.
Free agents.
Yep.
Free agents. You got to have that. And please, Cowboy fans, stop talking about fucking rings. Excuse me, Law.
No, you good.
I get so sick of that shit about we have 5, they have 2. Congratulations to the Eagles, man. Y'all have 2 rings. Good luck. But my last thing, and I'm going to say this, man, real quick. If, I don't know if it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. Let's say, for instance, all 3 of our top teams in our division, Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, if we all suffer significant injuries and the Giants will somehow win the fucking Super Bowl, are the Giants still better than all of us? See, this is the kind of bullshit the fans get caught up in. The Eagles are a better team. He's better than Dak Prescott, blah, blah, blah. No, man, it's about being healthy, injuries, luck.
Yeah.
So you just never know. From year to year, it changes, bro. And I'm so sick of hearing our fans talk about Eagles got lucky and all this. Man, they had a good game. They had a good, damn good game plan, and they stayed healthy. That is the main thing right now.
No doubt,
right,
man.
Appreciate
you.
Man.
Appreciate you, Dr. Q, man.
Okay.
Appreciate you, man.
Right,
Yeah. That's Dr. Q right there, boy. Oh, boy, he hot, boy. Yes, indeed, boy.
Damn.
But at the end of the day, man, you got to still prepare yourself. And luck is when preparation meets the opportunity. And as much as we can't stand the damn Eagles, we can't stand them. They were prepared for that moment. When I tell y'all, when people talk about excuses and things like that, granted, excuses will show up at your door with a 3-piece suit. But how do you avoid those excuses? Not allowing them to be there. Not going out there saying, hey, we can overlook Jahan Dotson and forget about what his scouting reports were. Right. We can overlook the fact that this particular team with run game, you forces people with a certain philosophy and a principle to have 8 or 7-man fronts so that your quarterback can have an easier picture on one-on-ones to the outside. There's no way on God's green earth, blue earth, or however you want to look at it, and diehard Eagle fans, they know I'm telling the truth, that if you drop 7 and if the Eagles have the inability to stop or to run the ball and they force Hurts to throw into 7 to 6 people in coverage, it will be picked off. Those are things that's not debatable because these are absolute truth. And even Hurts know it, right? But what they do is they build a team to his strength, not to his weakness. So they knew that, hey, we got a good offensive line. Let's be sure to continue to run the ball. They had pieces of it the entirety time that he's been in the National Football League, right? There's not no ifs, ands, and buts about that. Those are the realities of it. I got from the 815, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. You're live. Talk to me.
I have to say this really fast. So, Doc, I want you to notice what Law Nation did as a person who loves listen and watch this show. He quickly got you up off the line once you said the truth. Stop lying.
He got himself off the line. He said he was gonna make it quick. Did you hear what he said?
I just wanted to point that out, you know. But okay, now back, because what I've noticed, Law, I've noticed this. You like this new coaching staff, guys. The only reason why Law like this new coaching staff because this is exactly who he's gonna blame at the end of the season when stuff goes as it's predictably going to go. The last time I was on here, I think Law tried to help misrepresent something that I said. Two things can be true. Yes,
they can be.
The Jones family do not like to spend money, and yes, Dak sucks. When he gets it, even when he has the talent, he terrible. When
did he have the talent? When did he have the kinds of caliber of talent? Hold on, let me ask you this. When did he have the kinds of caliber of talent that the Eagles just displayed this weekend? When?
No, see, I'm gonna answer the question, but you like to ask these questions and
because it's the absolute truth. When did he have a Saquon Barkley, AJ, and Smitty on his side? When did he had the ability? When did the Cowboys had the ability to rush 4 and drop 7? When?
Law. And this is the other thing. And again, to answer your question, when we had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb,
we went 12-5. We went 12-5, didn't we?
When we had them, and what did now for me, what did that do with their talent?
All right, so let me ask you this though. Hold on. Is this Law Nation Sports or Brandon Ross Sports? All right, so listen to Law. Listen to the Law right now. Did the Eagles win the Super Bowl last year?
No.
Did they have AJ? Did they have? Hold on. Did they have AJ and Smitty? Did they have AJ and Smitty? Yes or no?
They did this year and they won.
Did they have AJ and Smitty? Was this a one-off? That's what I'm getting at. You don't win even if you had the kinds of caliber or weapons.
They don't count.
Huh? They didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. They didn't go to the Super Bowl last year.
2 years, two in 2023 when they win. Like, come on.
Yeah, and was AJ and was AJ and Smitty there then?
Yes, and they.
There you go. So you build. You don't detach. You build. And the Cowboys be detaching. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm getting at. So the propensity. Hold on. Hear me out. The propensity of the chances of the Cowboys repeating what they did in 2021 would have been stronger if you had an Amari Cooper there, opposed to getting rid of him. Now being 12-5 was really good. It was cute, but all of that. But you still had the inability to run the ball, and you still was one-dimensional. There was nobody else. Go ahead. Now you can respond. Yeah. Okay. Now you can have the floor.
The two things can be true. Law, again, to the stupid fan, what Law saying, oh, man, yeah, that you get him, Law. I'm not disagreeing. Of course I want to keep talent. But let's not act like that he did nothing with the talent. So
he only had 1 year to exhibit that talent. He had nothing to do with the talent when his numbers was very much so very comparable to those who were very good at quarterbacking, right, in 2021 with the talent. Come on, bro. And it is a team sport.
He lost to the 49ers in pathetic fashion.
And how many penalties did they have in that game?
No, we had like 14 penalties.
And hold on. Have a team ever won in the National Football League in the postseason with 14 penalties?
I'll let you answer that. But
the answer is no. The answer is no. And all out of those 14 penalties, how many penalties did the number 4 cost in that game too? By the way,
he caused some turnovers, and also
he did call turnover.
The leader that y'all love, but that y'all want us to believe Dak Prescott is. That's what Jalen Hurts actually is. Lord, you can get caught up on do we got talent? We had enough talent to have nine All Pros 2 years ago. Lord, we got to stop misleading the people.
No. All right, so who out of those 9 Pro Bowlers, who can stop the run? Who can run the ball?
Law. So I want to get this on the record for Law because I really need to know this. So since Michael Parsons has been here, or those 3 years we led the league in takeaways, we was a bad defense. I just need to know that from Law.
We wasn't a top 10 defense. We definitely.
Bad defense was the question.
That's subjective. Break it down. Were we a defense that could see? I'm killing you in this game. This is what I do for a living, baby. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay me 6 figures to sit up here to do nothing. With all of that, could they stop the run? Yes or no?
We was not great at stopping the run.
Yeah, that's all that count. That's all that count.
Our biggest bugaboo in that game. I will give you. Penalties was a problem.
Boy,
our offense was a problem, and our offense was a problem.
So what you expected, and what do you expected, and what did you expected, Brandon? What do you expected? You expect us to win with that?
I expect Dak Prescott to be a force multiplier like you claim he is.
When did I say he was a force multiplier? And I saw your slick comment. Hold on. Because if I ever said that he was a force multiplier, I can drop $100 down right now, and I will pay that person who can post that video. I'll give them. Matter of fact, I'm so comfortable in that stance that I'm willing to play a stack. I will pay a stack. That's $1,000 and it won't hurt me. And I will pay that $1,000 to the person that can find that video when Law Nation said that Dak Prescott is a force multiplier. That'll be the quickest $1,000 someone can make right now. But you can't find that video because I never said it. I appreciate you for calling in, bro. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. So that's just for what it is. I never said that he's a force multiplier. Never. I said that with Dak Prescott, if you have strong run game and if you got the good defense, of course he can win games. Matter of fact, Dak Prescott, when the running back is averaging north of 5.2 yards, he's undefeated. Good grief. Oh, I love this, boy. Woo-wee. Oh, the next person I have on the stand is from the 201, 100. Greg, come on with it.
Here. Listen to the goofy boy over there. Goofy boy, a.k.a. Slurpee. You feel what I'm saying? VIP, shout out to VIP, my dog. Goofy boy, a.k.a. Slurpee. Okay?
What more do you want from me?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me ask Goofy boy, a.k.a. Slurpee, a question. Law, be quiet for a second. Didn't Patrick Mahomes look just like Dak Prescott?
Hey.
Let me know if I'm lying, Law. Let me know, Law. Did they look like the same person? And then ask me a question. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk about the Green Bay game and how Dak Prescott wasn't a force multiplier in the Green Bay game when Dak Prescott ain't had no running game and they was dropping 7 back and y'all said Dak Prescott was trash? Jalen Hurts did the same goddamn motherfucking shit when he was dropping 7 and couldn't do shit when he ain't had no running game either. They look like the same motherfucking person.
It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy because everybody that's saying that I'm making excuses, just click on their profile, look at their picture, tell them to, hey, see what they doing. You know what I'm saying, with their lives and beyond. Because at the end of the day, I know what the hell I'm talking about, right? And they just trolling. You know what I'm saying? But hey, at the end of the day, you can't argue the truth. You can't argue the truth. What did Green Bay Packers do to us in that playoff game? They rushed what?
Dropped 7.
They rushed 4 and they did what?
Dropped 7.
They can
now
come
Prescott was getting sacked the same goddamn way.
Original, they never will
and y'all said he was trash. It was all his fault. He was throwing picks and all. Jalen Hurts did the same. I mean, he
that one pick, that joker was wide open.
Yeah, wide open. I said, what the
yeah, he dropped back. He dropped back. He said, "Shoot, here you go, boy."
Come on, man. And y'all want to say Jalen. He wanted to say, oh, he's who Jalen. Y'all want that Prescott to be Jalen Hurts. That's what I heard the comment. Jalen Hurts had running game. How many times did Saquon win that ball? 25 times. How many times did Jalen Hurts pass the ball? 22. Shut the hell up.
Hey, guess what? The people that don't know how to read defense, let them know how many people was in that box. Let them know how many. What was the main goal of that? Did they drop 7 and say run and say?
How many people on the team, Law? How many people on the team? 53. They had 53 people in the box selling out the stock. They said Saquon ain't running shit. They had everybody in that box.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you got A.J. Brown and you got Smitty one-on-one, what the hell do you think gonna happen? Wasn't no safeties over the top. There was none of that.
Hey, and I'm proud of my guy. I've been saying this for a minute. There are Eagles fans that can't get in contact with A.J. Brown, but I can. You know what I'm saying? And I know for sure. And I ain't trying to flex on him, but shout out to A.J. Brown. Look, I love my Mississippi boys. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud Mississippian. That's what he said. Shout out to him. Yeah, one-on-one. And if you absolutely try to take the safety and roll them over the top, or take that safety responsibility off of the eyes of Saquon, there would have been 15 yards. Yeah.
He broke one. I said he gonna break one. He broke one for 10. Come on, man. Come on, that was easy. Easy
money, man.
Come on, man. That was easy peasy. And now I hear Andy Reid, man. I don't know, man. He's slipping with that play caller. Just how y'all let the brain Mike. Come on, man. Andy Reid don't know what he's doing out there. Come on, man.
No doubt, man. But in closing, man, because I got a lot of folks, bro. What else you got before I let you go?
In closing. I don't want to hear y'all sit there and say, oh, man, why y'all comparing Dak to Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes will go out there and win the game by himself. False. And I don't want to hear y'all say, Jalen Hurts is better than Dak. Yeah. Jalen Hurts had running game. He had 2 wide receivers. Come on, man. It ain't the same. And he had the number 2 defense in the league. When did Dak Prescott had a number 2 defense in the whole NFL, a running game, and 2 wide receivers? Let me know. Never.
Man, come on with it, bro.
I'm out, man.
Man, appreciate you, man. All right, man. All right. Hey, I got from the 856, and then I have 214. But from the 856, you're in the mix. Brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me, man. What you got on your heart?
Listen, man. Somebody got to let these people know what's really going on. I hear a bunch of people running their mouth and saying a bunch of nothing, and you got to argue with these idiots. They can't even answer a question that you are asking them. Number one, he's never had a top 10 defense. His defense gives up damn near 35 to 40 points a game, and when we do have talent, we got all offensive talent. What receivers did we have these last couple years? People run their mouth, and you got to stop entertaining this stuff, Law.
Facts, man.
They don't have
facts.
a damn clue what the hell they are talking about. Don't even let them get to you, bro. I'm sitting here. I started snapping for a second, and then I calmed down once I connected to the call because they don't have a clue what they're talking about.
No.
Howie Roseman is the MVP of the Eagles. He built them a damn team. They are spending. Look at how much free agent money has been spent in the last couple years.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Somebody got to let these people know. I'm trying to be as calm as I can.
I feel you, bro. Yeah.
But tell dude why he trying to run his mouth to answer any of these questions. When have we kept the team and built it?
Yeah, that was my whole argument. Is like you can't destroy it and burn it down and expect to have the results of what you did previous year by starting all the way back at ground zero, right? So, and I get the point. You know, we did had a lot of talent on this team, but it goes back to my storyline. This, bro, is that if I go hand my daughter a keys to Ferrari, that doesn't mean that just because it's a Ferrari that it's going to drive itself. She don't know how to drive it, you know. So you got to still have someone that know how to drive said Ferrari. And that was been the problem with the Cowboys is that, we probably accumulated talent, and that is very subjective too because, like I said, who could stop the run?
Exactly.
Who can run the ball?
One of the worst run defense. We are in the 30s when it comes to run defense in the league.
Right.
The Eagles got their Super Bowl off of running the ball all year. Jalen Hurts only had to prove that he had to throw the ball twice this year. Once against the Steelers, when his own fan base was calling him trash, and now they riding his meat sack because he got a running back and can hand the ball off 25 times. Everybody's stacking the box, and now you got all-star receivers on the outside who's going one-on-one.
Yeah.
And now he's able to pick them apart. You don't think if C.D. Lamb was going one-on-one with a team, you don't think he could tear him up?
Yeah.
These people make no sense. Like you said, dropping 7, but they don't understand this type of stuff.
They
don't understand. It's a bunch of idiots in this world.
Yeah.
You need to open up and start cursing them out and letting them know what's good.
No doubt,
I'm
man.
gonna let you keep exactly. I'm gonna let you keep doing what you're going. Keep listening, but keep letting them know what's really going on. And tell these idiots to shut their damn mouth.
No doubt.
Dallas Cowboys all the way, and we're gonna keep it up. Law Nation, let's go.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in. I believe the first time caller there. Here's what I'm gonna get at. See, people get so caught up on, hey, how many Pro Bowls or how many this and how many that. Cowboys had 5 Pro Bowlers this season. 5. Do the math. So that's 4 less than what we had the other year. What, 9? We was hurt. But the Cowboys had 5 Pro Bowlers for the 2024 season. So miss me with the Pro Bowl and all of this stuff. Can somebody stop the run? Can somebody run the ball? Can we get the necessary stops when necessary? And on top of that, can the quarterback not turn the ball over if you want to put that into the equation? Yes. But I've just seen a quarterback that got a $500 million contract named Pat Mahomes that couldn't move the ball, couldn't get off of his marker. They rushed 4, they was able to get home, and they dropped 6. They dropped 7. Yes, that's football. And then on the flip side, they had to load the box. They couldn't play with soft boxes because you got a nice offensive lineman. Those are not excuses. Those are facts. Football 101. And then when we look at this, there will be people that will still argue with me that say that, hey, this right here is not real, Law. It states here, free agency spending since 2016. The Eagles, $639 million. Average per season, $71 million. The Cowboys, $340 million. Average per season, $38. And all Law Nation is asking for, is begging for, is for the Cowboys. You don't have to spend all of the money, but just spend some of the money in free agency. In the last 10 to 15 years, the teams that lifted up their Lombardi trophy, then either did it via free agency or some type of transaction, acquisitions, those type of things. Do the Cowboys do that based off of that number? Is that a yes or a no? But when people go to argue that individual players are not better than other individual players, you get this. You see what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. I got the next caller from the 214. Darius, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me. Once, twice, 3 times a caller. What's good? What's good with you, bro?
Oh, my bad. I had you on mute. My bad.
You're talking some stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nah. First of all, I want to say shout out to my dog Brandon. He always got a legitimate reason why he's saying certain shit. I get it, but just shout out to him before I start.
Okay.
And then the other thing I wanted to say was Pat Mahomes is a 3-time Super Bowl winner.
Correct.
You can't compare. Like I get what Kinfolk was. I call him Kinfolk. I get what old boy was talking about. But no, you can't compare Dak to Pat Mahomes. That's a 3-time Super Bowl winning champion. I don't want to hear that. The next thing I wanted to ask you about was.
Wait a minute. You can't look at that game and say that Pat Mahomes didn't look like Dak in that game.
No, he definitely looked. Like
who you can compare Pat Mahomes to in that game? Who did Pat Mahomes look like in that game? From your expert analysis, if you were to say, if you was an alien from out of this planet and you was dropped down and you had to go watch that game, you wouldn't say that he's a 3-time Super Bowl champ in that game, wouldn't you?
No, I'm not disputing the fact that he looked bad, that he looked terrible. He definitely looked like hot garbage. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
and what made him look like that? That's all I'm getting at, bro. We know he got the skill set. We know what he's capable of. But what made him look like hot garbage, my brother?
Their pressure. They applied their pressure to him. The line couldn't block for him.
And it was unique too, right? Because there, in any given Sunday, in any given football, there must be 5 offensive linemen down there, right? And according to the NFL rules, there must be 7 guys on the LOS. 7, right? And I'm just doing quick math. 7 is more than 4, right?
Right.
Okay. So they were able to, in any given moment, for over 40 snaps, to get pressure from just 4 versus 7, and they dropped 7. So in order for Pat Mahomes to hit anything, right, when his running back game was allergic, he would have to wait for long developing plays because there's 7 bodies out there to probably 3 guys that's running routes. Is that a successful philosophy?
For the defense, yeah. But the offense, no.
For the offense, no. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I'm getting at. So Pat Mahomes, if teams were able to do that previously, would he be a 3-time Super Bowl champ? Yes or no?
I don't know, no. I mean that's the formula to beat him, though. I can't take the bowls away from him.
Yeah, you can't take it away from him.
That's the formula, though.
Right.
That's how you do it.
So that's what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is better than Pat Mahomes. I'm not saying that Pat Mahomes can walk on water, that he should have been able to defeat all of that. But what I'm saying is basically I'm looking at a team out of the Kansas City Chiefs that value free agency, that value going out, making sure that they get more and more weapons, more and more pieces to that particular quarterback. And I'm looking at a team like the Cowboys who don't value that, who can see that those are issues. That's been the issue for not just 1 year. This been the issue for the Cowboys for going on 6 and 7 years. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say these 2 quick points. The first thing I kind of want to say is that Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, neither one of them are force multipliers. Neither one of them. You have to create a super team around them because they not going to do everything just by themselves. There are force multipliers.
Right.
And so you got the guys like Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, guys like that. They those are force multipliers though, because they are not. You have to create a super team around them. That's what they need. But what I wanted to ask you too was like, I'm trying to figure out how the hell did the Eagles build a super team, but they still got more cap space than us? Like that's like what the hell is that? But they got to pay their players too? Like,
well,
are they working off a different cap than us? Like what?
No. The financials parts of it is that if you wait to the end of life of your contract, you're going to pay more. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So they don't want to like not everybody's are financial pieces. You know, a lot of people they just watch the game, so they're not really very much so involved with contracts, right? But since this new era of football, you got to be well equipped of knowledge of the monies of contracts. In any given Sunday, the contracts of any player, if you want them at a cheaper rate, you got to pay them a year or 2 years before they get into the end of life of their contract. But if you wait to the end of life of their contract, you're always going to pay $10 to maybe $15 million more. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's an indictment on Stephen Jones or whoever the hell worked the cap.
Yeah.
So I get that. Somebody like Clarence Hill or somebody needs to. That ain't even gonna work. Let me just go back to the next point. The next point is what I was. Yeah, you felt where I was going. With that. But my next point was what I was getting at yesterday with AOC was I named all of the position groups, and y'all basically picked the Cowboy position groups over Jaden Daniels. Over the Commanders. So basically what that tells me is that Jaden Daniels is working with less than we are right now, but he's elevating that team to get to where it's getting to. So I just wanted to ask AOC that from his perspective.
Right.
I just want to see, like, what did he think about Jaden Daniels because he loved Dak so much. I just kind of wanted to get his perspective about what Jaden is doing. So that's where I was coming from with that.
Yeah. Well, we will see, man. Jaden Daniels, he going into his second season, so a lot of people don't know his tendencies or saw tape on him. So we will see, and then he had the third place strength of schedule. You remember the Cowboys were a Warrior drop away from being in the postseason again, right? If they went out. So what I'm getting at is with Jaden Daniels, let's see what he looked like in year 2. Before we pretty much say, okay, he crowned it. But I can tell you from some of the things that I was seeing of his throws and some of the delivery points, I think that he's a damn good quarterback that the Cowboys is going to have to face for 2 times out of a year every year. But at the same time, it's still too soon. It's a small sample size. But he's on his way. I can't say that his scale is on a downwards pattern. Shoot, he already got 2 playoff wins, right? If that's a qualifier. But I think that Jaden Daniels got nothing but the world in front of him. But if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm looking at all of his bad tapes for right now, and then I'm looking at all of his good tapes, and then I'm gonna see what I can do to make him play left-handed and see if he can replicate what he did last year for this year. But I appreciate you for calling in, bro.
Are you gonna be at pass rush school? You gonna be up there?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get there, man. I got an event that I got to be at, but I'm gonna try to swing through there, bro. But I appreciate you for calling in. Yeah,
that's a bit.
No doubt. You know, and this is the reality of it. And I can't wait. I got a tape that I'm gonna present to you guys, and it's just gonna be me talking about the interior play of a certain guy named Caldwell who went to Oregon, 340 pounds. That video will be released once we're done with this live stream. But I would say this, though. Teams, they spend all offseason seeing how they can make you play left-handed when you're right-handed or right-handed when you're left-handed. So Jaden Daniels, don't crown him too soon yet, right? And let's see what can happen in the future. Granted, they got over $90 million. They should be able to assemble a team, and they don't have a meddling owner there. So they should be able to go to shopping on free agency. And what our problem is by us being where we are at in this free agent, money pool, if we don't make no moves, there will still be people talking about, well, it's the quarterback fault. And this is the same storyline from when we had the previous quarterback. Well, it's Tony Romo. It's the same conversation. It's Drew Bledsoe. It's the same. Vinny Testaverde. Bro, don't y'all know that the expectations were still the same when we had Vinny Testaverde here? Super Bowl or bust. The expectations will always be the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl or should be in advance of the Super Bowl, even when we had Quincy Carter in them. Alex Wright. The expectation never moved off of that point. But what I'm getting at, my point is, if the Cowboys don't dance around in free agency and they allow the Commanders, who's sitting on, they probably sitting at 77 here, it may be the updated, I don't know, but that's still a lot of money. It's sitting on 77. The Eagles, they sitting on 18. The Giants are sitting on $43 million. So when it's time for free agency, they will be able to dance around a whole lot. So we better be on our P's and Q's. I got Steven Jordan says, did Mahomes not look like the very same product that Dak recently did in his last playoff game? The people were chopping at his knees all four. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do. And when we look back at the notion of a force multiplier, and we talk about what Pat Mahomes can do, we know if you block it up front and you give Pat Mahomes a little slither of second, he can make plays. There was one play that he looked like Fran Tarkenton, and he was able to still get the first down. That is what Pat Money Mahomes can do. But when you getting pressure with 4 and you dropping 7, I don't give a dog. And your wide receivers are not able to do those long developing routes because you dropping 7, you're going to look very pedestrian. Right? So that's just for what it is. That's just football 101. The only thing that could probably save Pat Mahomes in this particular game, if they attack C-gap runs, and if they were able to capture the edge to get him off of that soft 7, dropping 7. That's the only way. The only way the Chiefs would have been able to win this game in the Super Bowl, if they probably would have jumped up by 10 or jump up by 14, if they were to be playing with the lead or something like that. But, it is what it is. You got a super chat? My bad, guy. I'm going to get to your super chat. Let me see if I can get to your super chat. Hold on with me. It's one-man show today, but appreciate y'all's support. It states here for the $4.99, Eric, appreciate you for your support. You just dropped $4.99 in the chat. Angie says, Riggs, Law, did you forget that to wear that Eagles hat? I would have had to have the whole Eagles uniform. I would have had to have the hat, a jacket, a T-shirt, some pants, a belt, socks, and drawers, man, in order to curse the Eagles, man. My guy, Too Cool, 100 Laws. What's up? I'll be back to stat soon. I'll be back in the stat soon. Appreciate you. Too Cool. Law, hear him out. Dak time is now. He get his head coach. He finally that they were looking for. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support. And Lola, appreciate you for your support. I'm trying to read all of those chats, and I don't see your other chat, my guy. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support. Let's get the next caller on right quick while we getting this thing going the best way possible. I got Adam, then I got MJ from the 206 and VIP. You're live. All right? So, Adam, 623, you're live. Talk to me.
Yo.
Yeah, what up?
I had to unmute myself, but I get the premise of everyone's arguments, but we went through this little query with it was me, B-Bird, Angry Cowboys fans, and Sports Junkie. We were going through the cylinders of how the Eagles were better than us.
Right.
I get the last caller was talking about the Washington Commanders and
right.
Just how they're better than how we have a better roster. I kind of disagree because they essentially took our players and they added them onto their roster, and they immediately saw the impacts because, like I said, we were too top-heavy going into this year, and when we lost that depth, we lost, just the quality in competition and how we looked on the field.
Adam, what happened was they took our depths from us. Our defense technically finished out better than the Washington team's defense. We had we had more sacks, we created more pressures, and I think down the stretch we created more turnovers than the Washington team. But the problem is we had zero depth. We have zero depths in our team. Their offense, the quarterback play, he was healthy for the majority of the season, so he outperformed both of our quarterbacks. Their running game, they had 2 running backs that was a little bit better than us in certain ways, if you really look at it. And Scary Terry, he was their wide receiver, whereas I'm still taking CeeDee Lamb, even though CeeDee Lamb had to play himself into football shape. I'm still taking CeeDee Lamb over Terry. Their tight end, the resurgence of Zach Ertz over Schoonmaker and a broken up Jake Ferguson. I'm taking Ertz. So, I mean, when you look at everything, the strength of schedule, playing third place division schedule, that was a difference of two games. Well, they made it to the postseason based off of the difference of 2 games. So I would say this, though, shots out to the Washington team. They hit a lot of people with the element of surprise. People were not keen to know what the new offensive coordinator was going to do there and the new defensive philosophy and these sorts of things. So, Adam, I would still give the Cowboys a little edge if completely healthy over the Washington team. But the Washington team,
I think from our head.
Yeah.
I think from the office, I think that's where, like I said, the edge is the culture. And like I said, culture, it's the psychology of sports.
Facts.
The environment you cultivate is the environment. You can make your absolute worst players play the best, even better than some of the guys we have on our team.
Right.
Like, I look at Philadelphia, and I'm like, Jahan Dotson is way better than Tolbert. All of them guys. I'm not going to put Smitty there because I think Dotson would be a 2 on our team easily. And I was saying, like, on all cylinders, from the head down, they were just better than us on all cylinders. And I hate to give them praises because I think CD's better. I think if you ask anybody, we'll take CD over, easily over A.J. Brown. But I'm looking at these statistics, and, yeah, Jalen Hurts had an effective game, but it's kind of like how Derek Carr carved us up. Philadelphia ran the ball 45 times that game and only threw 23 times.
Right.
Even the threat of that run, it's like the threat of the jab, it's still effective because now they're going to parry in that first shot, not anticipating what's to come. So that's what people don't understand. And like I said, Vic Fangio single-handedly alone won that Super Bowl for Philly. I don't think if Vic Fangio's there, anyone else not named Vic will not win that game. But my main point, and I'll close it out with this, it's one of the main things I do want to say like this. When you fight somebody, you get to know their tendencies, especially when you get rematches and clauses with them. It's like when you get a rematch, you pick up on their tendencies. Yeah. And if they don't adjust their tendencies or their game plan, you'll get caught folded. You'll get caught with your pants down, and you're going to lose. Yeah. Like Dak, the second time around when he faced Vic Fangio, but like this, we scored on them that last drive, but it's our defense let us down in that game because Dak put up a game-winning drive against that same old D coordinator, that same old mind that said that he had the blueprint to beat Dak. And I'm not defending Dak. Right. I'm just saying it for what it is. Like at the end of the day, to beat Fangio's defense, you got to be able to run the ball and take what they give you right in front. But other than that, we can't. Another closing remark: we can't sample size the 2021 season and say that's enough talent because we only had that for 1 year. That's like scouting out your future wife, but you only date her for 1 year. You don't know what she's going to be out of that first year. Come on, sweet. And then you bail out on her after that year? Yeah. You can't do that. Come on, just because someone hit their shot that first year doesn't mean it works out for you in that way. It takes time. Like what Philly built, it wasn't overnight. They had the minds behind that team with Howie Roseman and whoever their top of the guy is. They've been having that philosophy for a while, even when they won in 2017. It just carried on. That's what people don't understand. It's from the top down, no matter what. But that's all I had to say. Appreciate you, Law.
Man, I love this call, man. Appreciate you, Adam, man. Ooh, I love the call, man. Oh, man. And we get so knee-jerky. We lose one game in the postseason when we had everything and we destroyed it. We broke it. And there's been a known pattern. 07, we did the same thing. 14, after we lost, there's catch, no catch. Don't y'all know? Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all don't want it. Y'all want to make it about the quarterback here. Don't y'all know that Dez Bryant had to fight for his money after 2014? And not just him. I'm talking to only my educated Cowboy fans. Don't y'all know that they pretty much said that they ain't finna pay DeMarco Murray and a guy that was stealing colognes and draws, right? Or draws and cologne, however which order he was trying to steal them. From the Mall of Dallas was going to be our savior at running back. We literally destroy everything because we are so emotionally. Move those emotions out the way. Real contending teams, they just don't get rid of those things. They replenish and they replace. It's good if you wanted to go back and forth with Dez Bryant with his money in 2014. But be damn sure that you already have somebody locked, loaded, and ready in training camp who's going to bring the same desire and attention. It's good if you wanted to move on from DeMarco Murray. But you don't replace him with a guy who couldn't block, who already had issues on holding on to the ball himself, and he talking about there's a lot of meat on the bone, and given the opportunity to brother folded. But the expectations are for the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. Now, Eric, I'm not making excuses, but what I'm going to say again, the reason why your team made it and won the Super Bowl is because you guys felt the pain and the embarrassment of losing to the Bucs in that playoff game. And what did you do? Did you get rid of players? No, you add to. DeAndre Swift, bye-bye, and let's upgrade from DeAndre Swift to Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm going to ask you, Eric, since you're in the chat, is DeAndre Swift a downgrade from Saquon Barkley? Or Saquon Barkley an upgrade from DeAndre Swift? Let me know. And let me know. What was the difference? Let me know. And what do the Cowboys do? From the back, look at it. We went into this particular season bringing back Ezekiel Elliott and saying that we're going to run Rico, Ezekiel Elliott, and Tanny Deuce Vaughn as our running back. Did we upgrade in that position, or did we say, okay, we just going to have to figure out things and look at this process through the entirety of the season? But what are the excuses? I need to know. I got from the 206, you're live on the Nation, my guy, my brother, MJ. Talk to me.
What up, Law?
Not much. Hey, man, you gonna love this tape, man, on this kid that I got named Caldwell, bro, from Oregon. You gonna love him, bro. I can't wait to see this update on tape. You know.
Okay, cool. Hey,
yeah.
But, all you guys make good sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say one thing. It's not even about the catch. Before that play, y'all.
Right. Yeah.
Cowboys about to blow Green Bay away, but I have back. That hole was wide, and me and your grandma come around through that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Fumbled the ball. The whole moment had changed. Green Bay was on the sideline like we had San Francisco. It's like you say, Lord, it's always something about to happen. We about to blow teams away. and then something stupid happen. You can see the older bench. You look at the other bench and say, "Oh man, these Cowboys about to blow us out." Oh, we back in the game. Same thing with San Francisco. It's always something happens.
Always.
You know what I'm
always
saying?
And forever.
Forever. But,
Yeah.
you know, we had a chance to win a lot of games. You know, like I sometimes talking about that. Just the team now, y'all, we got to move forward.
You got to move forward, man.
We got to move forward. We got to stop talking about coulda, woulda, shoulda, do. No. I like the stuff they put together.
Yeah.
They got out the way. Finally, now, it's like you and VIP say, now. I don't care if they get a halfback or a receiver, but you better so goddamn make my defense cold-blooded.
Blooded. Come on with it.
Look. Give y'all picks for Dak, the running back, and the receiver, but give me my pick. Let me get my corner. Let me get some D tackles. Let me get some linebackers. Let me get some safety.
Come on with it.
To go with Micah Parsons. And that scheme, we finally got a chance to kick some butt. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. Philly, you won.
Salute.
But I'm a Cowboy for life. You still got to catch up. And you can say, oh, it's 2000. No, you didn't say that. Y'all took y'all 80 years to win 2 Super Bowls. Like y'all said, it took us 30. We done won in 30. We had our chances between that 30 times. But it took y'all 80 years to win Super Bowl. So shut up. I don't want to hear your mouth. I'm not worried about no Redskins. I ain't because even though they might hit on our quarterback, you still got a good quarterback. The key is the quarterback. Now the quarterback got running schemes. They got. And you tell y'all something. The receivers gonna get. No, you ain't gonna be able to talk smack about Tober no more. You ain't gonna be Mingo no more.
Mingo.
Flannery, because the receiving route tree, if you go watch the Seattle tape, Cole showed it, and you showed it. When Seattle used to run for Wilson, when he threw 41 touchdowns, the receivers running wide open, halfback wide open. And this running game they about to get. So in the Redskins, I watched the tape, the Cardinals. They ran all over Philly defense. The defense y'all saw this year, that Cardinals was running all over with that run. So I'm not worried. And my little bro VIP coming up. How can I get VIP my number? I don't want to say my number on here.
Okay.
Can I give my email?
Let me
give my email right now. He's right behind me. MarViante@gmail.com. Marviante@gmail.com. Send me your number, VIP. He's coming up right behind. That's my little bro. So we're going to go out there. We coming to the Dallas, LA this year to kick it with Law. And VIP, you got to come, little bro, so we can kick it with Law for 2 or 3 days.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
How about them Cowboys? And let's get this chip, y'all. Stop crying.
Come on, man. Let's go, man. Start crying with it. You know, I got VIP, then I got the 971 locks, and I got the 469. So we getting on up here, man. Come on with it, man. I got my brother from another mother, VIP. You're live on the nation. Let's get it.
Lawrence VIP, baby.
Yeah.
Shout out to MJ. Shout out to 100 Gram. Yo, MJ, I don't know if you're on the gram, MJ, but I'm going to send you my gram. My gram is LOVEY XL. What is it? XL.
Well, just put just put it in the chat, man. Put it in the chat. Yeah. Y'all chat each other, man, on the chat. Yeah.
But I do want to say this, Lord. I heard Slurpee on here slurping, Lord.
Yeah.
I'm glad you checked him because this guy gets on here slurping over himself. I want to take this. I want to remove this ideology out of here. There is no quarterback that is a difference maker. If a quarterback doesn't have a team around him, this is just the blueprint was exposed. If your quarterback doesn't have a legitimate run in a legitimate team, I don't give a goddamn if your name is Pat Mahomes or not. Did he not look pedestrian in this game, Lord?
Man, he costs a lot of people a lot of money. But the thing is, my thing is with Pat Mahomes, they couldn't get Vic Fangio up out of that damn dropping 7, and they're running the ball. They're like that was the difference in this game.
What gets you out of that law? What gets you out of? You either have to run the ball, right?
Yeah, you got to make them pay. You got to make them pay, bro. You got to make them pay.
So if you don't have a threat to make them pay, and it was a total on the flip side, they put 8, 9 in the box to stop Barkley. So you have one-on-one on the ends. I don't know what Slurpee see. He probably never played football in his life, so he don't understand these concepts and stuff. But if you have one-on-one and you have 2 wide receivers that you just paid $100 million to, what do we compare? I don't. You're comparing them to the Jalen's? Are you serious?
Man.
So we're saying Jalen, well, the Jalen's hang up with AJ and Smitty when Law I see. And
Man.
we're talking about the teams back in, if you remember that Green Bay game, Law, they ran down our throat. They dropped like 30 on our defense.
Yeah, man. It's what it is, bro. And I hope that people understand what I'm saying. Like, that was the only reason why I wanted this to be removed from the equation of the inability to run the ball. And I wanted to show y'all that, hey, if you don't get a chance to run that ball and they drop in 6 and 7, it's going to be a long night for you regardless of who you are. Now, I truly believe that the stubbornness of Vic Fangio paid very good dividends because of the fact that he refused to load the box or give Pat Mahomes one blitz, because with the kind of caliber of arm talent and visual evidence that Pat Mahomes have, and I'm choosing that word if as a fifth, if they started to blitz him and they got greedy, he would have made them pay. But they stayed, they were disciplined enough to just still stick with their philosophy because it was working, and shout out to him for that.
And it worked, Law, because you can't commit to a run if you're down 20 points, Law. And how do you expect my quarterback when we're in I believe it was whatever game, it was the San Fran, the Green Bay game, we were down like 20 points. But you want my quarterback to walk on water, to establish the run himself, and bring us back. Like, come on, just make the math to me, Law. Yeah. That's why, Law, like when I hear Slurpee get on, I heard Slurpee's boy on here. Like, bro, what is like, I want to big my boy up. Big your boy up for what?
Hey, next week for sure, I'm gonna have you, 100 grand, Darius and Brandon. We got to have that show, man, and we got to have it, man. So it got to be late. It got to be late, around by 8, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Next week, I'm going to have the 4 boxes. Just y'all 4. Just the 4. And I'm just be mediating some stuff, man. But I appreciate you for calling in, bro. Thank you so much for your support.
What it is. MJ, I'm about to put my math in the chat. You can hit me up, MJ. It was funny as me and myself was just talking about it. I was telling him about you. And he was just talking about, like, Dad, I want to go to Cali. We've never been to Cali. Woo, woo, woo. So I got bros out there. So I'm definitely going to touch down this year. We're going to meet up with Law. We're going to do a real live. I want to be like the dude that came in the cowboy hat with the horse last time, Law. I'm coming there with the homies, man. I'm pulling up on you, Law.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in. It's VIP, man. Definitely going to have to get that show on and popping. VIP, 100 grand, Darius and Brandon. Them 4. And then we'll rotate the other, Swayze. And there's somebody else that we probably, maybe we can get somebody else in. But we'll figure it out. But I got from the 971, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me. Hello. Yo.
Hey.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, did Doc have surgery?
Say again.
Did Doc have surgery?
Shit. All right, for the 469, you're live. Talk to me, man.
Yo, bueno tardes, Law Nation.
Yes,
How are
man.
you, man?
Man, I'm doing
All right,
great,
man.
man. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, it. Congrats, Eagles. You did it. You won the Super Bowl, second of your franchise. But hey, like the other caller said, catch up. Even though we're living off those effing 70s and 90s,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
still have more than y'all. It is what it is. But let me
Yeah.
give you my two beans, Law.
Okay.
And I'll give you bean, and I'm out of here, man. But let me fertilize your cranium, and as they say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is a conspiracy right here. I think the Eagles won this Super Bowl by stealing a recipe, but just making it better. And let me tell you which team it is. It's in our division. I just want you to guess, Law.
Oh, shoot, I don't know. I thought that they did similar things to what the Niners did, but go ahead.
They copied something we tried to do ages ago, but they just did it better. It was the Cowboys recipe, what they did around 2011, 2012, when we had that big juggernaut offensive line, running the ball, decent to great quarterback play, and playmakers. But you know what was the difference?
What's that?
The identity and scheme of the team. The Eagles knew who they were, and when it came push and shove in playoffs, they knew what they were about, right, Long? I mean, they knew they were built upon that defense. They didn't have to rely on Jalen Hurts. They relied on Barkley to run that ball, make great runs, and it is what it is. I'm not saying it was a like an outstanding great team, right? What is it? You know what I'm saying? They're not like that the Rams or Showtime Rams or anything like that. But what they did is they had that foundation of a football team, and you got to give it to them, Law. I mean, respect is due. I mean, how he built that team, it is what it is. They went after free agents, they built on the draft, and they took the opportunity when it was given to them. Because when they took Jalen Carter, I forget what draft that was. I knew right there and then, damn, that is a steal of a century. I don't even know how Carter fell to them. You would have to remind me what pick that it was.
Well, he had some off the field things that people was questioning on, with someone passing away and the car thing and all of that. But I think that both like the Milton deal and the Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, all three of those boys, to be able to create pressure from the interior is great for them,
Exactly, Law. So, I mean, they built their trenches. I mean, from that offensive line, if you saw that stat in the Super Bowl, I mean, their average height was, 6'8", 6'7", weighing something so many pounds, juggernauts up front. They built that D-line. They can rely on Jalen to be decent up to great at times. I mean, I'm not saying he's out here being Patrick Mahomes, but he did what he did. He only gave you one interception, but at least that didn't cost you, right?
Right.
But and this is diabolical, and it is what it is. So all I'm saying, Law, is there's many ways to build a great team, right? Especially in football. It is up to the GM, the coaches, and the players to come and say who we are, what are we going to be about, and what is this team about. Everyone has a foundation.
Right.
Everyone's foundation is different. Some are go-getters, some are hustlers, some are straight up, you know what I'm saying? Everyone has a different character, but you stick to that character. It's you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cowboys, over the last 30 years, they don't know who they are, and it shows, especially with Jerry.
Right.
In closing, I'm sorry I'm ranting with you.
No, you good.
This is diabolical for me to say, and I've been sleeping on this because when the news came out that Shawty was our head coach, I was
livid.
You live it. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Law? But I am hopeful for Shawty now, just because of what I've been seeing, the movement, right?
Right.
And I feel like this is the first time that he's actually trying to choose a coaching staff, not because they're buddies, but at least because of their coaching, desire and stuff. And if you really see how he's trying to build his team, it looks like they're trying to build it to where they're focused on running that ball, right?
No doubt.
And that's something that Dak can play off of. And hey, we'll be hopeful. Let's see what they do.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you, bro.
All right. Peace, love.
Peace. In 2011, the Cowboys' offensive line was Doug Free, Montreal Hollins, Phil Costa, Kyle Kosher, Tyron Smith. In 2012, the offensive line was Tyron Smith, Nate Livings, Ryan Cook, Mackenzie Bernardo, and Doug Free. No disrespect to my guy. No disrespect to him. But the Eagles got Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgensen, Mekhi Becton, who they reinserted him and he found the fountain of youth, and Lane Johnson. The only person that I would consider to be in the same room off of those 2 years that he was talking about on that offensive line is Tyron Smith. And even then, he was a rookie in 2011. So, no, these are not the same. Yeah, you think he meant 2014? Okay. I'll give him that then, 2014. But, he took me he took me to, my mom just shut it off when he said 2011. We made it to the postseason in 2011, I believe, too. That was the year we played against those Vikings and Tony Romo. Running for his life, and all I can say, Sidney Rice looked like Jerry Rice, he meant 2014. Yeah. Okay, good. Woo. And even in 2014, we had a Doug Free. So, we had a Doug Free in 2014. I don't think that nobody on this Eagles line is close to a Doug Free, if you know what I mean. And not in a good way. Oh, my gosh, man. But, never. I'll never come to the Eagles. If they were to say the Cowboys going to lose for the next 50 years, I'll still be silver and blue. Eagles have 8 Super Bowl rings. I'll still be like, hey, we hit it first. I'll Ray J y'all. I'll Ray J everybody. I hit it first. We hit it first, boy. Oh, my. Let me see comparisons of even the before I let the next callers on. We good with time and everything. 2014 offensive line. Man, this crazy day, man. We had Tyron Smith, Ronald Leary, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Doug Free. Ron Leary was a real good run blocker, but pass pro, he was all right. Doug Free was like really free to get to the quarterback, but I can see what he's going at with that. Yeah, good old Ron Leary. I have that's been waiting here from the 202 Big Amish, A-Lou, and then Cowboys Roy.
The conference has been locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's good?
All right, got an opposition.
What's that?
All right, so is your position that if Dak had what Jalen Hurts had, that he would win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I would say he would be more than 2-5 in the postseason. Far as from this season, yeah. If he had Saquon Barkley, AJ, and Smitty, and if he was healthy, I wouldn't see the Cowboys not making it to the championship game at least. But go ahead.
Okay, well, let's see what you're omitting then. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair position to take. You say, all right, if you had everything being equal with Dak and Jalen, okay, you could say, okay, it's one removable than the other,
right?
Replaceable, But the only one distinction I'll say, then I'll get to my main point about it is, and Dak's no longer that runner. Jalen could make plays with his legs.
He can. Yeah, he can
and
break away.
And that's where the difference maker is. So I'll just say that if you're able to run the ball like these other, that's where the difference is in today's game. That's what I look at it. But I'll go to my main point then. All right, so they're interchangeable. Now,
right.
You said, now, what if you replaced Dak Prescott with Jaden Daniels, and he's commanding the Commanders? Do you think the Commanders would be in the NFC Championship against the Eagles?
Yes, because when the running back is averaging over 5 yards per tote, he's undefeated. So those 2 wins that Jaden Daniels had in the postseason, the running backs was averaging north of that. So I have to quantify that. And on top of that, it's very so much to say to yourself that we don't know how the ball bounce. And it's so much difference of a pressure when you playing with silver and blue at the star on the side of your helmet, opposed to him just playing for the Washington team with the expectation that they were just happy to get to the postseason. So I don't know, man. There's too many variables in there, but I'm quite sure that he probably would have had either the same success or better, especially when you're talking about playing a third-place schedule too.
So you're saying that the Commanders with Dak Prescott, I'm calling bullshitter on you now.
Okay.
You're saying that the Commanders with Dak Prescott under the helm would be in the Super Bowl beating the Chiefs. That's what you're saying.
With the Commanders, Commanders still lost to the Eagles though, Yeah. You remember they lost and they couldn't get the 5 yards. Yeah. Well, I ask you this, Big Amish. I'm asking you this then. Can you show me a game of Dak Prescott when the running back is averaging 5 or more yards or more that he lost?
I can't right now, but my point is this though. But see, we're trying. You're right with apples and oranges, but
right.
I do want to just there's certain things that we can't argue. The running backs of the Commanders, you're missing out a substantial player. That without Jaden Daniels' play, those running backs would not be running the way they're running.
That's subjective. Austin Eckler always been a premier running back, and Brian Robertson, he's a former 1,000-yard back, I believe, and the man got shot 8 times, and he was running that ball everywhere. Yeah, he's a damn good runner. He's better than what we had here. He's better than a Deuce Vaughn and Enrico for what it is, Yeah.
We would take him, but then I want to focus again. Look, I love our team. I always will.
Right.
But I want but we have to look at this, and then the other aspect of it. To me, Jaden Daniels can make plays with his legs, and the defense, you're going to use a defensive player to spy on him. There's always going to be a scheme looking at Jaden Daniels to run.
Right.
We no longer have that with Dak Prescott. We don't have it anymore. I mean, I wish it comes back, but I don't see it.
When did it left? It left this year, right? Or it left the previous year?
I mean, the injuries. And we'd actually, in honesty, how do we really know he's coming back the way he was?
We don't know that.
Ham came off his bone. I mean, his hamstring came off, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope he does come back and better than he ever was. But I also wanted to point out, if I may, I don't mean to take, but
no, you good.
If the contrast. Okay, so let me ask you this: Patrick Mahomes,
right?
Yeah, he did look like Dak Prescott. Okay, now let me ask you this: if you substituted Dak Prescott in that game instead of Patrick Mahomes, what would you think the score would be?
I think it would have been similar. It would have been a blowout for sure, especially, and it would be INTs because now you're trying to fit balls where they don't belong. You would see a similar situation. But, I can't use that because of straw man's argument, right? Because we've seen situations whereas in those same set of circumstances, people call them empty calories, Dak, because in the last or the fourth quarter, all of a sudden you see some type of an arousal of the ball going down the field all of a sudden because now teams are not blitzing as much. So I don't know. I definitely don't know what Dak Prescott would look like in a Andy Reid system or scheme. But I can tell you that with Dak Prescott without a run game, he would look just like what we just seen of what Pat Mahomes did in that game.
Would you say Patrick Mahomes is more mobile than Dak?
Yeah, he's more mobile.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's more mobile. Yeah. But he was escaping for his life, it seemed. And you're right about the C gap and the edge.
Yeah.
Why didn't they adjust? I mean, I think Matt Nagy, I think that's the offensive coach. I mean, I guess he might be looking for a job after this.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they weren't using some sort of backs or, helping contain one edge and having Mahomes run the ball. I mean, but anyway, that's a side issue. But to me, the Dak issue debate, you, in all honesty, I can't say, and if you're playing that defense and they're dropping 7, there's no way Dak's throwing the ball in those tight windows and not getting more interceptions.
I don't know. It's very, very argumentative.
Under duress.
Under duress. I mean, the Green Bay Packers did the same thing. Also, can you point out a Super Bowl that Pat Mahomes won without run game?
Well, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? I mean,
right.
But I agree with you. You do need the running. You do need running, and you do need better than Dowdle. I'm still high on Mighty Mouse Deuce Vaughn. I just think he has a special talent. It's up to our offensive coaching staff to find it out and put him in a situation to use it. I'm not saying he's a 30 guy, but you got to put him in certain situations. He has a special talent. 8 carries, 10 carries, or plays a game that he gets the ball. He might, I think there's a way to use him that's neglected, right? So no, I mean, there's a lot of good discussion going on.
Right.
I'm not for Dak or against Dak, and I was the biggest Dak. I mean, his first year, I'll never forget that.
Right.
I mean, I thought, man, even the second and third year, because he would run the ball. I remember that one game he played against Seattle, and he ran over that secondary. He ran the ball. I mean, I said, man, this guy's better than Russ Wilson. And that was huge for me to look at that way. So I always had faith in him. I just think that injuries are a big concern now. That's all.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you.
And yeah, that's it.
No, you good, man. Appreciate you, man. Good call from my guy. Great points. And, I feel exactly what he's saying about Dak Prescott. If we want to isolate the 30-year problems of the Cowboys to Dak Prescott, then so have it. I mean, look, I'm a fan of this team before Dak Prescott named, before he was swimming in the sacks of his dad coming out to his mom. I've been a fan of the Cowboys team before he could even spell cow or boy, right? So I get it. But if this particular team wants to win, then they're going to have to realize that you can't win it with one. You can't. And at the end of the day, I'm going to see what my guy Jay Lombardi sent to me. Did you put it in the DM? Let me see if I can find it that way, But it is what it is, bro. Let me see. Eagles, my guy Jay Lombardi says, Eagles took the blueprint and our quarterback got to do more with less. Okay, let me see what he got right here.
Because he had made he is. Tell me if you agree with me, Stephen A. and Saturday on this.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts' career is going to be like Troy Aikman.
Yes.
Because he had Emmett behind him, Troy wasn't allowed to throw for 350, 400 yards very often. I'm not so sure how many 400-yard passing games he had. All he did was win.
Yes.
He ran the football, played behind an outstanding defense.
Yep.
That's what they didn't ask Troy to do what some of these other quarterbacks were doing, but they were winning.
Stop, thief! Come back, thief!
Well, I've been saying that for years, man. But appreciate it. Those are facts, man. I guess those are excuses. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is trash. I'm not saying that he's a horrible quarterback. I like Hurts. The Cowboys liked Hurts. They had him on his draft radar, right? It's just the Eagles jumped him, and got him before we could. On top of that, what benefits the Hurts do have, he is elusive still. He can get out and he can run away and create plays with his legs. But that doesn't, if you look at the quarterback completion percentages and you look at QBRs and all of the other stuff, other quarterbacks are better. So if he's a better runner and he's in a better system, of course we're going to look at the running philosophy. That's part of his game. That's part of his weapon. I can't take that away from him. I respect that. Shout out to him. But we just don't know in a different system will that be transferable to all. All right, I got A. Lou from the 304-603 and the 817. We close out with him. But it's 304. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, bro.
What's good, Law? What's good, Law? Hey, look. First and foremost, let me go ahead and say this. If you need another speaker when y'all gonna do it on that 8 o'clock on that whatever night.
Yeah, whatever night. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down. I'm down to come in and give a little bit of my input.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need an extra, you need a wingman.
Yeah, wingman. Okay, all right, I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah.
Hey, but it was good to see.
Yeah.
Honestly, I this Super Bowl, and shout out to the Eagles.
Shout out to them. Yeah.
Cowboys fan, but shout out to the Eagles. I'm just glad that they did it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that they didn't put everything on the quarterback and say, "Hey, win us the game."
Facts.
Scrap. I am because it shows you need a team. Every time Pat Mahomes won the Super Bowl, he was never the regular season Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He was always run the football and let Chris Jones and them take their heads off in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Super Bowl with defense and running the ball.
Yeah.
Every single time that they won, and when they lost, they could not block anybody and they could not run the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy that they did that. But this back to the Cowboys, but I'm glad to see that this coaching staff.
Right.
I'm still on. Good hires to an extent, right?
Yeah,
we really don't know much about these people.
You got to give them a chance to fail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were hired to see what they can do, and we can't just take a dump on these boys. They had nothing to do with the last year team. So got to give them a chance to fail, and they're new respectful positions. Yeah.
And on top of that, they did the same because nothing has really changed. They did the same thing with Mike McCarthy. They let him bring in his people. They let him, fire off one offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the defense was the all-time worst.
Right.
But that's a whole different story. So it's no different than what they've done with McCarthy. That first year, they did invest in some of the lower-tier players that he knew he was comfortable with.
Yeah.
That Ha Clinton Dixon, the Dontari Pose.
Right.
You know, so they still went after low-end, low-tier players.
Yeah.
That he was comfortable with.
Right.
So I firmly believe we're going to go after some of those Seattle Seahawks players that
he feel comfortable with.
Or the Bears or some of the Bears defensive players, low tier, that they're comfortable with, until they go out there and say, all right, we're going to buy this shiny toy.
And that's exactly what we all been waiting for, Lou, is to see whether or not the Cowboys are going to finally give us something more than a James Washington, right? So or Eric Kendricks. People fail to realize last year the expectation still Super Bowl, right? After getting destroyed from the Green Bay. And I asked people, who did the Cowboys bring in free agency? And there's only one name, Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
But those are excuses.
No. But see, that's the thing. I don't know what kind of glass, what I don't know what kind of glasses Stephen Jones is looking out of.
Right.
But there's no quarterback that does more with less. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Pat Mahomes still had to have Worthy. Worthy wasn't his number one, right? But you still had somebody that was running a 4-2 out there that you had to be accountable for.
Yeah, you had to be accountable for, and they waved him off. You know, I think that they drafted pretty well. They had grit guys like a Chauncey, that was a veteran guy that understood where to be at in his own looks, right? To look him off. And what you got to do with Pap, it's a vision-based defense. You see exactly what's going to happen. But if they can win with their 4, nothing you can do with that. You only have a window that you can throw into. And you talking about squeezing the ball in between two defenders the entirety of the game. When you got pressure on you, Pat Mahomes felt like a human that game, you know. Shout out to him, you know. Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's always been the key, though. You know, if a team, and this is why the Eagles are so important, you have a team that invests in your front 4. There's honestly, even Graham, he's been there for ages, but he came back for this game.
Yeah.
He's still wreaking havoc. He's still out there doing something. So I get it, right? You drafted your 2 D tackles. You went D tackle, back to back. I kind of see them doing that this year.
Right.
You went D tackle. You had an old DN, and then I think they went out and got another DN or something, right?
Yeah. They got Bryce Huff. They sent Hassan Reddick on his way out. So yeah, you know, you do those things. I think that one of the things that they are capable of doing is not falling in love with their players. And if the Cowboys, let's say for example, if the Cowboys would have went with a Bradbury in the past, Bradbury would somehow still be here on this team, right? Because we go with the ideology that we got to prove a point, you know, whereas other teams, they go with the ideology whereas they're not finna just shuffle the deck around and say, okay, let's just continue to roll out with Andre Booth.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't think that they're trying to prove a point. I think their idea is that we're still paying him, and we don't want to pay him and not get nothing for him. Because that's the reason why McCarthy wasn't let go.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Zeke came back, because they still had Zeke under contract. So technically Zeke was getting paid $8 to $10 million to come and play that 1 year, because he still was on the cap. He still was taking a cap hit for Zeke. They paid him $1 million to come in and play. So technically he was paying $8 million for Zeke to sit the bench.
No doubt,
that's
man.
Really what happened. So I just want to see. Look, I'm like I said. I hope, and I need you to be the catalyst of this.
Right.
And you're starting to hear the players of this. You're starting to hear CD talk. You're starting to hear Micah talk. Everybody's tired of hearing this bullshit Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones is trying to push.
Right.
Everybody's tired of hearing it. You're tired of being. You're going to trade Micah? All right, come on now. Let's be serious here. You're not trading Micah. If you're going to trade Micah, you go ahead and do it. You don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Somebody like that, you don't go out here and say, hey, we've had internal discussion. Look, cut the bullshit and go out here and let's win some games, but let's put players in place to stop getting these lower tier undrafted free agents expecting an undrafted to be Saquon. or
Right.
expecting an undrafted to be Romo. Or, like those
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
once in a blue moon. That's once in a blue moon. Very rarely do you ever hear that happen.
No doubt, man. Hey, Lou, I appreciate you,
People putting
man.
the pressure on 'em.
Thank you for calling
People
in, bro.
putting the pressure on 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. Great call so far, man. I got Cowboys Roy, then we had the 817. Cowboy Roy, you're live on the Nation from the 603. Let me know what you got. Talk to me.
Hey, Law, let me tell you something, man.
Talk to me.
The reason why we can't go anywhere, man, is because of our God's philosophy. It is like a weight around our neck. The reason why the Joneses sign those low-level free agents is not to threaten their guys' positions on the team. That's why they sign those low-level free agents. And they're going to continue to do that until they change their philosophy. It's killing us, man. We like our guys. If we pick them, we got to play them. That is not going to help us get to where we want to go. It'll never help us get to where we want to go. If the Eagles had built that team that way with that type of philosophy, they would not have been in the Super Bowl. And another thing, Kansas City, they got to rebuild their offensive line. That's all I saw. Their offensive line can't block, period. If they had run the ball, they would have got Fangio out of that dropping 7 and only rushing 4, but they couldn't run the ball.
They couldn't run, dog. Yeah.
It's 3 things we got to do. I call it the Trinity, the holy Trinity of football. Run the ball, stop the run, and have a good run the ball and stop the run. You got to have that, man. You got to have offensive line, defensive line,
and what's the third piece?
And run game. You got to have that.
Okay. Offensive line, defensive line. What's the third piece again?
And run game.
And run game.
You got to have running backs, man. You
Yeah.
got to have running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, wide receiver. We can always trade for a wide receiver. I ain't talking about bingo mingo, but you got to trade.
Yeah.
You got to go trade for a legitimate wide receiver. I mean, I still hurt because we got rid of Amari Cooper, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I was listening to Boss last night.
What did he say?
And he was talking about we signed our guys late, and you know what? The Cowboys got burnt by signing guys early. They got burnt. They got burnt by Jalen Smith, and they got burnt by Blake Jarwin. They signed them ahead of schedule.
But they do spike signings though. They I'm gonna sign him because and you can't. Once again, and Toxic Tom will tell y'all this in the chat is that these guys they just don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They don't know what they're doing as it relates to this money, and they wait too late. Like I was with the belief. I was so hot and angry. There was a lot of people who celebrated and cheered that Dak Prescott signed that contract like 5 minutes before they kicked off the football game, right? And I was sitting here like, why would you disregard this kid the entirety of the offseason, right? And then 5 minutes before kickoff, we're going to sign him to the world's biggest contract that no NFL team ever seen before as far as guaranteed money. You don't win that way. You just don't win that way because it just creates so much toxic within. It's just crazy, bro. But it's the Cowboys way. Cowboys way.
Yep. But hey, man, if they change that philosophy, if they ever change that philosophy, we'll be on our way. We'll be on our way. Until that happens, we ain't going nowhere, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, man. All right.
Yes, it had a lot of things going on, and all I can say is this is the Cowboys way. And trust fund kids with the bank account. You're right. Like, you can search the world over and over again, and you will not see nobody else running their business this way. Now, who am I? I never touched $1 billion, right? So who am I to tell the Joneses how to run $1 billion organization? But it doesn't count to this degree that just because you may not ride a bike or drive a car and you sitting on the porch and there's kids playing in the street and they down there on the hill and cars are driving down the hill, you don't have to drive the car or ride a bike to see that it's finna be a collision. And that is what we are dealing with the Cowboys. We can see it, but neither here nor there. I got the 817. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrankelFirm.com. Talk to me.
What's going on, Lo?
Hey, all is well.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, how do I get it to where my name will pop up when I call in and not my number?
What's your name? Let me save it in there.
Kobe, Kobe. Me and my, I got a twin as well. We're going to start a channel here soon.
Okay.
We're going to do Cowboys talk and stuff. So
okay.
Type it in as twin DC4L. Twin DC4L.
All right, I put Kobe. Now, what you got, though, man? What you got, fam? Twin, what you got?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I was calling to ask you, do you like Connor, the running back for Arizona?
James Conner? Yeah, you know.
Have you paid enough attention to him? Do you like the way he plays?
I mean, he's a hard-nosed runner, man. The guy, anytime he was the guy that fought cancer and won, you know. So, I mean, he's a downhill runner. I love his physicality as it relates to that, you know. And I think that he's not a shifty guy, but he's a downhill runner. I like that. Yeah.
Well, I said that to say, okay, I know this draft class is going to be deep. Connor, I believe, got $20 million contract a year or two ago. It goes into effect till 2026, so he got like a year left on his contract. I think he's going to hit at the Arizona Cardinals for like $6.5 million or something like that. We just got the coach from Arizona, so what would that look like to bring James Conner here, push for a different playmaker in the first round, maybe get a receiver or maybe get a linebacker or such, and worry about a running back later down the line? Would you say James Conner is better than Rico Dow? Would you pay a few more million for him?
Well, I'm not giving Rico $6 or $7 million. I'm not giving Rico none of that. You know, I'm giving him, hey, test the market. If you come back with hat in hand, maybe $2.53 million. You know, and what I'm looking at here is any of the veteran running backs or wide receivers that's out there on the market on positions that we need. I'm bringing them in for a cup of coffee. So when I go into this draft, I'm not going into the draft starving or hungry, right? Because you just never know how the draft board falls, right? And there's some people that will bang the table and say, yeah, man, Genty will be there. Nobody knows that he will be there. Or Marion will be there. Nobody knows that, right? That's you can't go into the draft with nothing but hopes and expecting to get the results. Because there's one thing that I look at the Cowboys, has everyone always say, hey, man, she good. She look good. Yeah, man, she's sexy. Yeah, man, she can walk fine and all this stuff. But can she cook a breakfast, right? Can she cook dinner? Can she cook lunch? You know, can she prepare a meal? You know, so we giving credit to the Cowboys of drafting really well. But when we look back at things and we look at what they can really do, yeah, it looks good from afar. But when you really look at it, and you really look at what we did, wasted times with the rapper kid that they shot up the place, and we were saying, hey, this is another guy that the Cowboys should consider. Kevin Joseph. And to a degree, Sam Williams with only 600 snaps since he's been drafted here. We still don't know who he is. Izzy McQuamu, we don't know who he is, right? You know, Chauncey Golston, he shined a little bit this year, right? We drafted guys, and now they, Fihoko and them, Semi-In Jr., both of them guys off the team. So my thing is, we get the impression that the Cowboys been drafting well, but we need to really look into that mirror and say, hey, you know, can they fry an egg?
Agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, free agency. I truly feel, you know, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like Jerry is gonna make he gonna change over a new leaf when it comes to free agency this year.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like he's going to do something different because he's been allowing Will McClay to draft. And he's drafted Mozzie. He's drafted whatever his name is. But I think Jerry's going to take the initiative. Like, I got to do something now. I got to do something now. And I truly feel like this free agency is going to be different. March 12th is when the new season starts, correct?
Correct, though. I think we got to get under the cap. So I think you're going to see some movements around, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So in these coming weeks, we'll know for sure, and the draft ain't until April. And so when that comes around, but, man, the people I'm pushing for is T. Higgins. I really, really like him. Cooper Kupp, if he's beating T. Higgins, but I think Dak likes a bigger receiver, especially on that outside. CD, he bounces all around. So I feel like a permanent outside receiver would really help complement that game. I like that running back up there in Vikings. Ain't he on a 1-year deal with them?
Aaron Jones, Aaron.
Yeah, I think we should bring him home. He's from the he's from the Dallas Fort Worth area, so I think he should come on home and play with us, man. I really like him.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really, really looking forward to this offseason.
No, certainly, man. At least bring these guys in and see what they can do. And when you get into the draft, still draft, right? Still draft at that position. And appreciate you for calling in, bro. Good call.
Like you say, BPA, best player available.
Best player available,
man.
God bless. God bless you, man. Good call from the twin, the Kobe Cowboy. Yeah. So we get all of this, man. And I get it, man. A lot of people still frustrated about this and that. And we fall into those traps of our own minds of saying, hey, man, this can happen, that can happen. Cowboys, we got the 12th pick in the draft, right? And we just don't know how this thing going to fall to the goodness of our team. We just don't know. There's no guarantees in this thing. But I can guarantee you this, if the Cowboys continue
Maybe he is. Tell me if you agree with me, Stephen A. and Saturday on this.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts' career is going to be like Troy Aikman.
Yes.
Because he had.
We better stop and shut that stuff down. We definitely don't want Jalen Hurts to win another Super Bowl. And this could be his third Super Bowl if he went into this thing again, because he was a DB away from the last Super Bowl of not winning, right? Or Kadarius Toney, Kadarius Toney took a good little trip down the field. The damn Chiefs needed a Kadarius Toney this past Super Bowl to flip the field and give you shorter fields or what have you. But you better figure out a way, Cowboy Nation. It's already miserable that we don't do anything in the free agency. But we got to figure out ways to get things going. I think I got a super chat here. This is from John Rycon. He says, when Dak had run game, he was labeled as the media as a game manager that couldn't – let me see if I can pull up that entire – that couldn't throw. Hurts and Daniel have that, and now they are labeled as great. Yeah. Appreciate you, Jay Lombardi. Thank you for your support. And my God, Mr. Antoine Wright for the $9.99 for your mind. Appreciate you. A few weeks ago, we had a similar conversation. Hurts got a ring, and the fans on Twitter talking about who got better stats, shaking my head. Embarrassing between the quarterbacks, and Hurts is now fans wants the stats and not the ring. I'm convinced. Give me the ring, man. Forget all of the stats. Give me the ring. But, as the people that support the Eagles, that's something that they can always talk about now. The ring is what counts. The ring ultimately is what counts, y'all. And there's nothing that we can say to dismiss that. At the end of the day, how many rings you got? Jim Kelly, regular season stats blows Troy Aikman stats out the water. Dan Marino, regular season stats blows Troy Aikman stats out the water, right? John Elway, before he had the yellow teeth, stats blew Troy Aikman stats out of the water. But do he have the rings, So it's just for what it is. Cowboy Nation, you got to get the ring that counts. And people going to forever forget about other things because nobody really remember who all was on the 99 Rams when Kurt Warner got his, right? Nobody really remember who was all on the 2000 Ravens, but they remember the quarterback. Yeah. They may say Ray Lewis and all. People fail to realize. They say Ed Reed, he wasn't even on that team. The 01 Bucks, they forever remember Brad Johnson. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them. Who's the running back? Who's the wide receivers? They forever remember. The quarterback going to always be remembered. That's just how that goes, unfortunately. And even though it's a team sport, right? People fail to realize, even if my guy Tom Brady didn't have that kicker for the first 3 Super Bowls, he don't win those first 3. Yeah, that kicker made a difference maker. So you got to understand that, at the end of the day, regardless of what we say, Hurts is a Super Bowl champ. The Eagles won in 2024-2025 season. Yeah, Toxic Tom said, Michael Pittman, Callaway, yeah, them Callaway, Keenan McCardell, yeah, who's tight end, who's the offensive lineman, but people remember that quarterback. Quarterback gonna forever be remembered more than any other star that's on that team or any team there is, and we still struggling to fight to get my guy Woody into the Hall of Fame, and he's been forgotten from those who pretty much do the voting. And he was a very much so a value person on that team in order for us to lift up that Lombardi trophy. But it goes to show you, man, when you the quarterback, you can get the shine. And you can get the hates too. Yeah. People in Steelers country trying to forget Mike, what's his name? Mike Tomczak, I forgot his name. I forgot Mike, what's his name? Y'all help me out. They try to forget him. He threw that interception right to Larry Brown. Here you go, Larry. What's his name? Y'all put it in the chat. 1999. Rodriguez, man. Appreciate it. Let the AI speak on it.
Jose Rodriguez, $19.99. Law, you the man. Shout out to the Law Nation. The 2025 season needs to hurry up. We got shiz to do. DC4L.
Yeah. Appreciate you for your support, bro.
Take the money out, all of it.
Neil O'Donnell, yeah.
Wasting my time now. Come on.
I forgot Neil O'Donnell's name. To some people that's in Steelers country, Neil O'Donnell is fighting words.
It's an evil world we live in.
Shout out to Neil O'Donnell. We really like you over here in Cowboys land. Yo, they say that prize fighter, even when he's down, he continue to swing. He continue to throw those hands. And I'm going to continue to fight, regardless of the situation. Verily, verily, I will say to you, there will always be detractors. There will always be those who try to spit upon the name of the Cowboys. But when you are good and great at what you do, regardless of it, the haters will still arrive here at this spot, here at this moment. Because even though their team should be celebrating with their content creators on lifting up that Lombardi trophy and being happy that they won a ring. And now they're welcome to the club or the party of having 2 rings, right? They're still looking up. And yes, you got to blow all rings off and all trophies off over here. The shelves is filled with dust and dirt. It's filled with it. I remember out of the nights that cover me, black as a pit from pole to pole. I thank God for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutches of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried out loud. I haven't done none of those things because we are not folding up over here. We're going to continue to fight for ours. We're going to continue to grind for ours. And as long as there's breath in my body and blue blood in my veins, it will still be silver and blue. And I'm going to always stay true. Mama said there'll be days literally just like this, but I want to motivate somebody to understand that even though the journey and the pathway that we are traveling may not be where we want to be, may not go the way we want to go, in the triple darkness of the nights, we look up, there's still stars that guide us in the right direction. And that's why we are here. So if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad, that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything taut in your cheek, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold or the poverty or the famish or fame, or the sickness of body or brain can turn you all away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Come on with it. Let's get it.
Take the money out, all of it. Give me my thing,
Yeah. See y'all on the final word tonight.
Time to run it up.
Time to run it up, baby.
I wake up.
I wake up.
Yeah.
Keep swinging.
I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash,
come on.
Wreck. But first I stretch.
Yeah.
Run it up.
I
wake up.
flexing on 'em.
Down now.
Yeah.
No drip this.
Tell 'em run it up.
No sleep, no rest.
Appreciate everybody who supported this channel.
Now that the 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely.
All right.
Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Law Nation, baby.
I wake up.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who support.
Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up. Flex. Thumb down now. Check. No drip this. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex on down now, check. No drip this, tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up.
All right.
Down now, check. No drip this.
If we offended anyone, charge it to my beard, not my heart. We're going to get on up out of here. One love. Love y'all to the stars and back. Come on with it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is you. I
Cannot believe it.
Please come home.
What we got?
I got beans and bologna.
No doubt, man. One love to y'all. No buyer's remorse for me. I'm rolling with Shotty on this one. But we'll see how Kellen Moore do in the foreseeable future. Where my off button at?